All right, let's depart. I'd love to see some non-Wormkin runs to see the rest of the game balance. Yep, me too. Me too. I say as I start another Wormkin run. It's more like I want to see the rares for the other classes. It's kind of like a large priority for me at the moment, at least. I'm really glad to hear that, Teak. I'm really glad to hear that, Budu. Was reading Teak in the sentence at the time. This is not Remnant again? Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. Okay, base deck has 2 copies of Sting, Soul Siphon, 2 copies of Echo Snare. We've got a Merchant of Steel and a Wormkin banner in the secondary area. We've also got a Divine Temple and an Awoken banner in the secondary. Okay, we're almost certainly going Wormkin across to Awoken afterwards. Do you think they'll make another DLC? I mean, I imagine it might be related to how this one goes, or it might not. I unfortunately don't necessarily know. When I get information that not everyone knows, I can't talk about it, and that's not now. I usually only get it shortly before everyone else knows about it. Have you ever tried Legends Rutena? Yeah, I've played a little Legends. Thank you very much, Abyssus, for the show love 500 bits there. Much appreciated. Echo Right and Echo Right. The Repeater or the Marsh Lord here. Those Echo Snares are consumes that can happen on a random floor, so they're pretty easy to target. Some healing for the Bog Chrysalis in the front line wouldn't be bad either. An intrinsic copy of Soul Siphon is also a really good setup for a Marsh Lord. Okay. Let's do it. Ooh, Stings get plus 20 magic power. I have 2 of those in the deck. We're off to a good start. Enemies enter with armor 10. I mean, it's going to be pretty hard to take them down, but at the same rate, I would very much like the money. Not the money, but the unit draft, which I will then turn down for money. I do want to set up on the bottom floor, don't I? So that I can try and finish this fight as quickly as possible. That's why we have an Echo Breaker there. Okay, so that splits there. We'd get Ember Drain on the units, but we'd buff all of the Bogflies as large as they can get. I like that. So, how would I kill you? I mean, if I'm going full Ember Drain anyway, I guess I just put down the Train Steward and then, like, cast the Echo Snare even. Right, and then a heal is enough to get the kill there, and then on this floor, it's just Soul Siphon and Restore. And that should be enough stats to kill the boss when they come in. Yep. I just bought Outer Wilds 2 days ago after watching you play so far, and it seems like one of the greatest games I've ever played. It's so fulfilling to finally figure out how to reach an area that previously seemed unreachable. I'm really glad to hear that. That's definitely an experience shared by many who played that game. Bogfly infused for plus 5 damage per candy. I don't think so. I think we turn all of these down. Steel Enhancer. It's infused as well. That's a pretty big push in that direction. Okay, I'll take a single Seal Enhancer there. This is exactly what I was looking for. Oh my god, was this ever exactly what I was looking for? Oh my god, was this ever what I was looking for? All right. Whew. Yikes. I want all of them. Can I have all of them, please? Thank you, Jayaka, for the 500 bits. Says good luck on beating your run. Am I the only one who kept getting Outer Worlds and Outer Wilds mixed up for quite a while? No, that was a very, very common thing. To the point that Kelsey Beecham, who wrote for Outer Wilds, now writes on Outer Worlds for the DLC that is either out right now for Outer Worlds or out soon. It's hard to keep track. There are a lot of games coming out at the moment. So if you referred to that Outer game, the Outer W, Kelsey Beecham wrote for it, you'd still be referring to both of them. Gosh, I really want all of these. Animus of Will slightly more than the others. Let's look at their unit essences. Okay, so negative 15 damage, multi-strike 1. So if we put an Animus of Will into a Kinho's Carapace, it'd get a multi-strike, but it would lose 15 damage. Not incredible. I prefer the idea of taking the Animus of Will and then finding something in the Wormkin banner to put inside of it. We've done a lot of Kinho's Carapace stuff recently. But then again, the idea... but that would be making the same deck. Because if this becomes intrinsic, we put that on a floor, and then we put the Kinho's Carapace there, and suddenly the Kinho's Carapace is 2 mana 60-60. Right? And that can go on the same floor with all of the eggs as Echo Right. It's just... yeah, I don't want to have to do that. Can you dupe Keeper and infuse Keeper into Keeper? If there was a Hell Vent here next to the Divine Temple, maybe. There is one next, but... like, that's just after the first boss. And I have a plan so far to have an Echo of Keepers that's... fine. Take the Animus of Will. Very likely to take that Strength Stone there. Interesting. When a card with Consumer's Blade, all cards gain +1 magic power for the rest of battle. Not certain how impactful that's going to be for us. Obviously, we have the 3 Consume cards here, so the Echo Breaks suddenly become okay. Lost Luggage. At the start of battle, draw until you have 10 cards in hand. That, to me, feels like a really good way to consistently try and get Soul Siphon, Steel Enhancer, obviously the Animus of Right, double Echo Snare, try and pop the Echo Right really, really quickly. But is popping the Echo Right really quickly the best thing we can do? Carving Koruska is extremely powerful, but I don't know if I'm going to want to take it here. Like, I could play around it. I could play around any of these at this point. It's very early on. Let's take Lost Luggage. I see. Do I want to put the Keeper of Echoes in the name? It has a name. I'm certain it has a name. Do I want to put the Keeper of Echoes in the Animus of Will? Tell you what, that'd be a really good unit to dupe. Okay. Do I reroll and look for a large stone? I wouldn't be looking for large stone. I'd be looking for quick. Or multi-strike. It's quick. Right? Yeah. I think we're setting up a 2-floor solution here. Should have picked Keeper first, so you could have done what the guy suggested. I didn't have a choice. The unit draft was before the banner there. Lost Luggage says Newt Scamander on it. I know that's a reference to something, I just don't know what. Okay, and the egg is 1. Curious, very curious. I mean, that's just Animus Will in the back line, and then Echo Rank goes out. Fantastic Beasts, good movie. Shame about the IP, yeah. Shame indeed. Well, I mean, all of these units are dying anyway, so I should probably just be sacking train sewers on different lines. You go down. One of you two. Heck, you can throw that one there. I don't really need to restore the bottom line there. I don't really need to restore anything. So nice there's no more days top floor. Opens up many more strats now. Yeah. It's a very, very kind change. Alright. Now we've got the Bog Chrysalis actually hatching. I don't want to take that much damage on my frontliner. Am I fine with being Ember Drained? Yeah, I think I'm fine with being Ember Drained. What, I locked myself out of my next turn? So what? It's not like I was going to do anything with it. Ooh, Stealing Hearter. That's still playable. No more days top floor? Yeah, the first unit played on the top floor each turn gains Ember Drain 1 now. Is the change. Echo Infusion. Right? Well, no, we want as many Inspire triggers as possible. Sure. I'll take the Shelter. I know it's up against another Sting, but it's another 0-cost infused card. My Lost Luggage gets a lot better when I have more 0-cost infused cards. It's also really good specifically with the unit that we picked up before. We actually may skip the Merchant of Magic here, go for the Pyromades instead. As well as the Herzl Sword. First time a friendly unit is healed each turn, draw 1. I probably don't want to go with the Conscription Notice. I like Sap Tap here. It's more draw. It's a draw relic, basically. Let's have a look at the Divine Temple. Should have looked at that before I went across, though. Value Stone. Don't think there's anything expensive enough in the deck to want to remove in that way. Ooh, this might give us something expensive enough to want to remove some cost from. Well, let's just not get the Melting Remnant one, because we've had a lot of those. A rare Stygian Guard draft pick. That could be Gifts for a Guard. That's a setup. Hey, and there it is as well. Do we take that or Deep Offering? Hear me out. Deep Offering is discard your hand, draw 5. If we reduce the cost of this by 2, and then get some cards that give us the consume back from this clan. Value Stone on Shelter makes it ideal for Spell Chained. Yeah, but also you can just not do that and just pay 1 mana to play it 2 times on the same turn. It's still fine. Gifts would be incredible once I go to Egglord 3. 100% true. Definitely true. So it's basically, do I want to consume all of my cards? Or do I want to exclusively consume good cards and have a bunch of draw power out of the Deep Offering? I think I take the deep offering. They say burn it all down. I agree. But this could be so much draw. What would I even be burning consistently with Gifts Regard? Nothing I care about. So what? I'd take Gifts Regard. I'd find a way to probably try and make it intrinsic or something. Obviously, remove 2 from it. This is also draw. It's worth noting. Remove 2 costs from this, give it holdover. It's early on. I would be able to do that. Then just put enough cards in the deck. I don't have many etch triggers in the deck. And I wouldn't be able to repeat a lot of my infuse triggers, which prevents the inspiring consistently from Keeper of Echoes, which is our secondary floor plan. Because we have to have a plan outside of Echo Right to still do stuff. We have to have a plan outside of Echo Right to still do things. How many attuned cards are there in these classes? Very few. Taking Deep Offering. If there were more attuned cards, I think I might have taken the Gifts Regard, because then the plus 20 magic power means a lot more. Alright. Slow the cost of you quite dramatically. Sacrifice the Keeper of Echoes into an Animus of Will, which we will dupe in the next area. I don't think I Purge Stone. Just get the Wormkin book that brings back 5 consume spells too. I would love to. That'd be ideal. Hold over Deep Offering, go double energy. I can't hold it over because it's got consume on it. Ooh. I can already set up on the bottom floor if I'd like. And I do like. But do I need to set up on the bottom floor? Daedalus! Daedalus has been enhanced by the power of Pact Shard, so I do not want to hit Daedalus for a while. Which actually might mean I do want to set up on the bottom floor, because the bottom floor is the furthest from hitting Daedalus. Because Daedalus is on this floor currently, and they're not going to be here past this turn. Okay. Echo Right. Animus of Will goes at the very back. Very back? Yes. Okay. Use a Sting to kill the frontliner, and then suddenly everyone's healthy. So use an Echo Snare there as well. I think I just popped the Deep Offering right now. New hand. Draw a card. The thing is, if I kill any more of the enemies here... There's no collector in this fight. Yeah, there's no collector in this fight. If I kill any more of the enemies here, I'm going to have Animus of Will hit the back line. And Donna says, just wanted to say you became my favorite YouTuber streamer and an inspirational figure that's introduced me to such an exciting community. Thank you for getting me to spend a substantial amount of time and money on SCS and Monster Train, meanwhile teaching me everything I know about both games. Very, very happy to have been the person to have done that, Bandana. Very kind of you to say. Thank you. You're right, it's only 2 spikes. Oops. Those should have been inverted. Okay. So I just want to get the Bog Chrysalis open this turn. The big thing I was attempting to accomplish there. Excellent. Let's give him some Echo Snare. Can we... Yeah, we will end up using the Echo Break on both of those. Popping a Restore out for good measure. Ooh, Shelter would be lovely to throw out on this floor right now. Unfortunately, not possible. Sure. Soul Siphon on this floor. But I guess that'll just deal some damage with the Reap at the absolute least. Ah, yes. The big Forged Disciple. It doesn't matter how quick you are if you're too dead to do anything about it. I could have gone with the Restore there. If the top deck is 0 cost, I'm going to feel bad. It wasn't 0 cost, so I feel... Gerb. Yeah, the Animus of Will is growing pretty quickly. Now, when we have another Animus of Will standing next to it on the same floor, and we're just doing a bunch of inspiring things there... Well, that sounds just like it might be something. I'm gonna Echo Break the Bomb there. Save myself a little bit of hassle. Toltar, thank you very much for gifting a tier 1 sub to Zero More, and Jero Medicine Chat, and Walking the Republic, as well as Zach Sherman. Thank you for grabbing at tier 1. 14 minutes ago. My apologies for the delay. Walking the Republic, enjoy your emotes in chat. Armor up. Going to say, Lutheril, I won't read the message out just in case that will provide a spoiler for some people. Ooh. Okay. Okay. We need to think. I don't like having to think. Why is the game making me think? Okay, so it's not Adaptive Mutation. That's the only one that I know so far. The problem is both of these can get nutty. Both of these can get wild. Awoken Railspike did get nerfed, but it doesn't matter. In this deck, we have no spells that cost more than 1. How many consumes do you have now? The Reaps, the Etchings, whatever it's called. I have Deep Offering, I have the 2 Echo Snares, and I have the Soul Siphon and Shelter. I'm pretty happy removing or not playing the Echo Snares, such that we can abuse bringing back consistently those consume cards. Problem is, this plays into an etch kind of plan for us, and it gives us, like, really powerful cards back to the top of our deck. Play Echo Snare, play Soul Siphon, play Shelter, then Deep Offering, and play a whole new hand. Basically, we get a whole free play. This buys us a free turn next turn, and then another turn after it. The problem is Awoken Railspike. If that gets returned from anything that returns consumes, and it may, suddenly the whole deck is 0 costs, and then all of our it's 0 costing the whole deck. Hey Raps, I'm sorry I'm late. Is that a haircut? Nope. I was just outside today. Etchings plus Offering is a potential infinite. How? Because Etchings puts it in your next hand, or rather it puts it at the top of the deck. It puts 5 of them there as well, so it may not be the top card of the deck, so it's not like you can just immediately draw into it. Etchings also consumes. Like, with work and another piece or two, I can see some things that could happen. There are, honestly, with the redemption of consumes, there are a lot of possible infinites in Wormkin. Although a lot of them tend to stop being infinites Thank you all. That's kind of you say. A lot of them stop being infinites because they just kill the enemy beforehand, right? Like they are too effective to be an infinite. NC Puddin, thank you very much for the Prime subscription. Jerry Motes in chat. Welcome back to the Republic. Don't need any of those. We already have a plan. So the thing about this is we still need to find an abusable way to gain energy if we want to be able to use the Awoken Railspike to its full extent. Sure, we can, value stone it 2 times, which not too far from a possible reality. Oh, wait a second. Echorite is 2 size. Animus of Will is 2 size. Another Animus of Will is 2 size. Baby, we're actually going to take a light as Seraph. There's some... There's justification for every play eventually. Nice. Awoken Railspike 100% takes that. My draw gem got bugged? Yeah, it looks really yellow right now. It's strange. I hope they fix that bug. You just cut train stews at this point, right? Mm-hmm. Get out of here, Greg. What is this mad world? Look. Sometimes you gotta diversify a little bit, but the next one is definitely gonna be armor, don't worry. No, haven't gone totally bad. Echorite. Hey, Marshallord, I mean. Why are you hating on poor Greg? He just tries to do his job. It's not his fault that it's a bad card. No, I'm not hating on him. I'm just saying goodbye. Get out of here. I don't care to see you ever again, Greg. It's like a parole officer, right? Like, sure, you might be a nice person, but I don't want to see you ever again. A steward into a steward. It's expensive removal. That's a flex on him play right there. Alrighty then, let's Soul Siphon up there on the top line, and then Animus of Will, Echorite goes behind. Or Echorite goes in front, rather. Yes. It's even shelter the armor. That breaks the egg! Oh! So good. Yeah, I'll work in Railspike for 4 cards that become 0 cost, sure. So, anytime I play a infused card on the top line, I get +2/+2 to my whole line. And I've got 2 multi-strike, 2 multi-strike, and 1 multi-strike on Kinhost Pupa. This is exactly what I wanted, and it's happening live on twitch.tv. You simply absolutely love to see it. So how do we get this to continue scaling past this point? It's a great question. Thank you for asking it. I'm saying that to myself. Not in a kind of pissy way of like, thank you not for asking kind of thing. It's more like joking with myself kind of way. Turn. How do we get this to scale faster? We have the ability to play more cards in a turn. That's one of the reasons that the Awoken Railspike was a particularly good pick, as well as why Deep Offering is, in retrospect, a very good pick. It's also something I did have in mind towards at the time. The ability to play as many cards in the same turn, so that we can get as many infuses, so that we can get more triggers of the Animus of Wills and Spines. Thank you, Tenderplord. Good question. Let me answer that retrospectively. I think Inspire infuses only on the Animus itself. Oh. Well, It's still good. And so I'll tell you what, they changed that from the beta, because it used to be the essence of the Keeper of Echoes would inspire to give +1/+1 to the whole floor, which was a problem. It was very abusable. Ah, well. That's okay. Honestly, even if I had have known this was how this was going to resolve, I probably still would have done it this way. So I don't feel too hard done by here. There's still one that gives +1/+1 to friendly minions? You mean the Keeper of Echoes, the one that I put into the Animus of Will? Or do you mean there is an essence that gives +1/+1 to friendly minions on Inspire? Cold Hut says, it was so much infusion, you could have opened a bar and called yourself a mixologist. You remember, Cold Hut, you remember, I remember, I was there as well. You remember back in the wars of, like, you know, I want to say, like, 1100 AD in England, right? Where they had these, like, big old curved things. Like, they were about as tall as a person, right? And you put an arrow in them. What's it? Oh, that's a long bow to draw. Is that a common enough turn of phrase to make sense as a rejoinder to that comment? It might not be. Unstopping? Okay, apparently it was clear enough. Monkey Go Beans, goodbye. Oh shoot, Raps, you're letting the chat know I'm immortal? Damn it, I forgot. I've accidentally let them in. That was a long walk around the block for that joke. I like that one, long walk around the block for that joke. The one that I often use with Peak is, if that joke were a car, it'd be a stretched limo. Return Soul. I mean, looks at that's more infusion. It's more consumption. It's more cards being cast per turn. Especially if we give it holdover. Total Recall. Return 3 random spells from the discard pile and apply them. Nah, we'll take the Return Soul. So we're looking for holdover on that at this point. Pyre Grove for an extra energy per turn. It's not bad. Long bow to draw, haven't heard that phrase in years. Okay, cool, it is good. It's still in common parlance. Invigorating Solution isn't bad here either. Ooh. Oh, that sound was in my head. Never mind. Invigorating Solution versus Pyro. I'll take the Pyro. Merchant Magic Curse Sword as well as Forgotten Boons. Merchant of Steel, which I cannot utilize in any way as my units are already full upgraded. Permafrost. It's weird. I actually don't know where I want that to go. I just want I want everything to cycle so quickly that I don't even know if I do want Permafrost here. -1 costing again. I mean, look, that could go on anything. Could even go on Awoken Railspike. Although maybe Consume Removal is something I'd be a bit more keen for there. Permafrost Deep Offering so you can play it whenever you want. The thing is, with the style of deck that I'm playing, the vast majority of the time I'm going to want to play that as immediately upon getting it. It's not how can I utilize the Freestone, it's where would the Freestone be better than not being on the card at all. right? Because you're comparing it not just like in permafrost on Awoken Railspike to use it on an opportune turn. Yeah, there are circumstances where I'll want to play a bunch of normal cards, and then the Awoken Railspike would only be drawing 2 cards at the end of the turn, and suddenly I'm like, yeah, all right, whatever, keep it, you know? But in those circumstances, is permafrost what I want on that card? Or do I want another -1 on that card? Or do I want consume removal and then just play it for the 1 card it draws and then play it in the next cycle for a bunch more, right? It's what other ones is it competing against as well, because it locks the final upgrade slot there. I do want cards to return consume cards to my hand. I'm gonna hit that one there and then reroll. Bubble stack. Okay. Fine. Maybe an episode on Railspike. Again, it's competing against consume removal. It's also competing against intrinsic in one of the Divine Temples. It's also competing against just another value stone in the Divine Temple and then duping it again. It's got a lot of competition, and I just don't think I'm willing to give that up yet. Increase the empties on each floor by 1. Forever Flame saves us 2 energy in the whole deck right now, because these are going to get removed really quickly. Mind Torn. Chris Angel, Mind Torn. Yeah, enemy units gain the extra 15. Neat. Hey, color me, color. Go. I can't speak today or yesterday, so it's fine. Let's just assume that I said the right words. Color me chaotic. Good to see you. Also, hey Jedi. Good to see you too. Emberstone X cost now works. That was as of like 3 patches ago. Jedi, actually, it started working. I should be fine to take this. Well, yes and no. Right, so the problem for us is the sycophants are not going to die to individual things like echo breaks and such. They will only end up dying to the animuses of will, right? But then the Clipped Guardian will end up dying to the egg that hatches as well as echo, right? Okay, we're fine. Frostfox, it's kind of you to say. It says, man, I really get to catch these streams, but thank you for all the YouTube videos keeping me sane over the last year. They've been doing the same for me as well. It's kind of you to say. Makes me feel like I'm doing a thing, you know? Don't the big guys have like 200 HP too when infused now at this threat level? I don't think they have like 280. They might have 200, but their base is 190 right now. It's probably like 240, if I had to guess. If you're still calling Echoes candy, would the empties not be wrappers? So yes, but also I don't like that much. It just doesn't have that same, doesn't have the same mouthfeel of candy. It lacks a little, you know when something lacks a little, you know? You know the quality I'm talking about when I say something's got some, everyone knows it. And if you don't think you know it, you do know it. You just don't know it by that name. I can't. Actually. Huh. Not good. Not good. Not good. He'll draw the other plant? Is that gonna draw it? Look, I think it's a risk we have to take. Nope. I didn't think about this. What happens when they're both not in the opening hand? Deep offering and lose echo, right? We may actually do that. Legitimately, that might be the play. Forgive me, Echo Right, and please come back to my hand as quickly as you can. My draw next turn is super important. I can't play Pyro here. I mean, Soul Siphon can go in the mid lane. It doesn't really matter. Use a Return Soul to pull back a Restore. Getting us into the new draw pile. Let's Return Soul another one of the Restores and burn that. Burn that? No, let's use the Echo Break and burn that. No, burn or restore. No, Echo Break. I'm such a decisive man. Maxwell says, Raps, you might appreciate this. I just had to watch a hard kill with the Master of Reality, Establishment, and Battle Him as your primary damage engine. Only a few actual attacks in the deck otherwise. I felt smart about it for once. That's a really, really, really nice play. The Master of Reality, so they're all upgraded. The Establishment, so they're all one cost, and Battle Him, so that you're consistently getting smites. That's super cool. I really like decks like that, right? And then you can just manage your starts and then blow them up on turns that you really want to. It's not that Pyro is a trap pick. It's actually really, really, really good. It's one of the ways to generate energy in a class that otherwise lacks many good ways to do it. You've got the Awoken Railspike, you've got Pyro, and then you've got decreasing the cost of things. I guess also decreasing the cost of the one that hits an enemy, hits a unit for one, draws one next turn, and Graft. All right. It's not what we wanted to see. Oh, thank you. Finally turned up at the end there. Oh, you love to see it. Oh, yeah, the sapwood, the wilting sapwood. Yeah, there is that too. You're 100% right. My apologies. I did forget that one. Pyro does not make sense here. We're beyond the pale in terms of the Pyro situation. Another Steel Enhancer out this turn. Or, no, let's just break an Echo Break, I think. Yes. Here we go. Burn one. Oh. Yeah, it's fine. We've got some shelter. Gosh, the Sorrow of Sorrow is very powerful right now. Is that going to be just too powerful for us? No, but God, it's close. Ooh. Look at its stats. It's got 16 damage, 21 lifesteal. I know I'm at 105 patch shards. I don't care. Why are you so powerful? Speaking of the pale, so close to the final cut. Yep, so close to it finally being banned in Australia. Oh my god, the enemy lives on 5 and then life steals their way almost. Almost. The sweep is the bigger thing. It's all of them combined, right? Because having high damage and sweep means obviously you're projecting damage to the backline. The backline might not necessarily be properly defended. We had the shelter with the double. If we didn't have shelter with double, we were going to lose there, by the way. But then on top of that, because it's 16 damage and it's going into AoE, it hits 16 damage against every enemy and life steals for 16 from each enemy, giving the enemy a bunch of HP. It's real big. It's a shame that Raps will have to be a New Zealand resident next week. Exactly. Absolute shame. The problem with Thorns is a very slight problem. It's literally just that they're not infused. They theoretically could become infused in the future, in which case I'd be real jazzed about having them. I think we still take it. It's the spikes that come out of it that aren't infused that I'm a little about. But it's okay. It's good. It's still good. What's our Seraph? Our Seraph is Seraph the Temperate. They will temper the strength of our units. Thankfully, we are inspiring a lot. Raps doesn't get brain wrinkles. He gets hair length. More brain work, more hair. Must give his brain space. Yep. These are all just long neurons, actually, that are just starting to grow out through the scalp. Thankfully, I've managed to style them such that they look like hair. God, we have so much money, and that's a merchant of trinkets. Are we really going to turn that down to go to a hell vent? In what world do we turn that down to go to a hell vent? It can't be this one. We have sting synergies. We have a little bit of healing synergies. There's so many candy synergies. If you look very closely, when Melting Remnant is selected, his hair very faintly glows as his brain goes into overdrive. And you can see by the end of that run, my hair is very slightly longer. Your floor solution is pretty much already set. It is. What would you hell vent? And how good is it? Great question. Depends on what's in the Divine Temple, to be honest. If it's a value stone, and we could -2 the Awoken Railspike again, I would then dupe that. It draws 4 cards with 0 energy invested and makes them 0 cost because we have no 2-cost cards in the deck. That'd be pretty good. Hitting Shelter, also pretty good. Hitting possibly a Keeper of an Animus of Will. There is a world where we try and get a 3rd Animus of Will, and then we just have a line that is just Animuses of Will. I don't love that world, but it does save us from the problem we had in the previous fight, right? Of having the Echo Right and an Animus of Will, but not the 2nd of Animus of Will in the same hand. When an egg unit is summoned, remove 3 shell and apply armor 30. I mean, it is summoned, but do we need it? It doesn't seem necessary. Is it Animuses of Will or Anime of Will? Sorry, it's Anipodes of Will. Egglord 3 hatches faster with it. Well, I mean, all of them hatches faster with it, right? The Egglord 3 is going to be 12. The thing is, because we are a draw cycle Inspire deck, 12 is not hard for us to reach. And also, all consumes will etch for 3 at that time. Doesn't seem worth. Well then. Definitely take jack strips. That's an always take. This feels like a big ol' whiff. I could take faulty loader, right? Apply daze 3 and melee weakness 1 to enemy units on the bottom floor in the first wave of combat. That just trivializes them, makes them die to the Animus of Will quite easily. When a unit with multi-strike attacks an enemy that has melee weakness, is the damage only applied on the first hit, or is it applied on all of them? Yes. Only first? Okay. Well, if it's only applied to the first, then faulty loader isn't even that great here either. Refracting lenses. It is a bunch of health, but I also don't need the health right now. With the pack shards that my enemies have, when we take damage to the pyre, we're not taking like individual hits of 5, 10, 15, 20. We're taking 70 or lethal. Just because they come up there and they're like dealing 20 damage and they got 200 life. Does refracted lens have an impact in the TLD fight? Not anymore, because you don't have the TLD actually fighting the pyre the entire time. This is a rough trinket shop. It's not the best trinket shop I've ever been in. Tell you that much for free. Plus 30 magic power. No. No. I guess I was kind of jazzed about the idea of getting a ridiculous amount of patch shards, but there's nothing here that I want. Removals. Obvious. My melee weakness works on the pyre attack too, so if something goes up, the melee weakness of the pyre will do more damage. While true, I will always, in the first cycle, have played one of my Animuses of Will, which will then hit all but the back line. You can still use the shock to manually in your deck. Yeah, as in, yeah, use the I haven't been using the Purge Stone to do removals yet. It's not a bad way to do it. All right, let's do that. Let's get a Echo Break out of the deck. I think that's a good idea. Just try and make some value out of it. You mean the Merchant Trinkets? Oh, okay, yeah. No, I'm saving a bit more money for later. We have the Merchant of Steel here, which I'm probably going to try and utilize heavily, as well as this Merchant Trinkets. After this Merchant Trinkets, I'll do a bunch of selling. If I felt like I was not getting to my core pieces fast enough, I might have bought a decent amount of removals there. I probably could have just buckled and bought 2 removals there, right? That probably would have been fine. But with the lost luggage and the amount of draw we have, I'm not really feeling the size of the deck at all. If there was a spell upgrade to give a spell infused, do you think it'd be worth to take it? Yep. Yep. I legitimately think that would actually be worth. It's tied into so many mechanics for this character that, yeah, it wouldn't be hugely impactful, but would it be worth? Yeah, I think so. God, are we actually really going to do the same thing again? Is that legitimately going to happen to us? All right. This is not because I drew things that were different. It's because I forgot to cast the goddamn... There's one that gave us mana. I will play the same turn in the exact same way. I apologize for the leap back. But it's because there was one that gave us mana that I just decided not to play before the other for no reason. For no reason whatsoever. Burn those. Then we have Pyagro. Restore. Forgotten Trade before the Awoken Railspike. I don't know why I did that in the wrong order. Draw through basically the whole new draw. Can you, like, actually, though? Can we? I drew the whole deck. Good lord. $48 armor just to you? Yep. Not quite the whole deck. You're right. There's at least one more card in it. It's called the Goddamn Animus of Will. That's its legitimate name, the Goddamn Animus of Will. I thought it was blasphemy as well. I was about to say blasphemic. I thought it was blasphemic. That smell a little blasphemic to you? I'm bringing back the Sting and burning it this turn. I'm drawing 8 cards next turn. I'm guaranteeing we get that Echo right. I want to be a man who wears his Echo rights. That's right. Does that mean the Animus is tanked now? Not for long. Okay, this damage is ramping fine for the Seraph. It's not ramping fine for TLD. TLD is also going to be sweeping. Oh, but I do have the Restores in the deck. I may actually have to use the Restores legitimately in that fight too. What do you got for us? Oh, the Sting. Just set up my mid-floor. I cannot. Mid-floor cannot take all of my units. Take one more capacity and go for the mid-floor play. The thing is, the biggest problem that I have against the TLD is not the fact that it'll be sweeping on the top floor, it's our ramping. It's whether or not we would actually get to damage points where we can deal with all of the enemies. Which is, so far, not seeming incredibly likely. And it is worth noting, one of the ways that we address that is getting the draw gem after this. So the capacity shoots us in the foot. In trying to save us, it kills us. One will help with that, the final upgrade. Ish. Perfect Insanity. Infused. Channel Song. It saves us from all the BS that we'd had. Yes, Perfect Insanity is perfect and insane, but Channel Song stops us from having to, in the TLD fight, not be able to do our whole thing, you know? The thing we do? I would love to be able to take that Perfect Insanity. I have to take Channel Song, though. Draw. Again, no minion upgrades are available or relevant to me. Channel Song and opening hand with both Animuses and Egglord. Honestly, if that happens, that's fine. The Channel Song is just there as like a catch case. It's totally okay if that happens. Okay, that Awoken Railspike could easily take this consume removal. Let's look at the Divine Horde first. For any units get +5, spell cards with Consume have a 50% chance to be discarded instead. Damn, that's good. Damn, that's what we're taking. Damn, we now have that. Damn, it's definitely Marsh Lord 3. I don't know why everything's damned, in my opinion. That prevents the edge trigger? Yeah, it prevents the edge trigger, but it gets me more cards. If we also zero cost the Forgotten Trade, we do naughty things consistently. Yeah, that's just correct. Don't overthink that, Raps. -1s are significantly less valuable as a result of having done that. Permafrost is what I want. Found it. Permafrost goes on to Forgotten Trade. We hold it in hand until we get the Awoken Railspike. Plus 10 magic power doesn't matter to us on any part. We could theoretically still purge cards here, but we also have free purges. The free purges here... Honestly, Soul Siphon is not getting a huge amount of use, but as I remove more cards from the deck, it's more likely to get more use. We still need to leave like enough cards in here that we can consistently generate infusions. But the way that we do that is with the restores. We don't do that with these Echo Breaks. So we're actually happy to just remove both Echo Breaks here. And then if I have a plan in the near future to remove 2 more Echo Breaks, that would be on the Unstable Vortex side. Opposite side of the Merchant Magic, which is the one that I'm very likely to go to in the next area, especially for the TU. So Divine Temple, does that push me in any direction? Divine Temple doesn't push me in any direction. Okay. We have the ability now to just remove the other 2 Echo Breaks, and I think I will. Take it, Echo Breaks don't benefit from spell power? They do. Non-boss enemy units restore all health when they move up a floor. It is worth noting the enemy has a Purifier. There are going to be a lot of self-mutilations coming out. How okay am I with that? I got to be pretty okay with it because I can't set up on the bottom floor. Unless we get the right opening hand. Pandana says, what do you call a stunt artist's on fire carbonated drinks vehicle? Jean-Claude Van Damme's damned can van. I'll tell you what. That joke would have made it into, like, a mission prompt for Simpsons Hit and Run. That's where that would perfectly fit. It's not an insult. There were a lot of jokes that made it in there. But that's where that is, in my mind, perfectly positioned. Okay. How confident are we? That's the royal question, isn't it? How confident are we? Does the Keeper of Will go on the bottom line and then we debuff up? Fair enough, I take it as a compliment to get roasted that hard. I'm glad you do. It was definitely intended as such. I loved Hit and Run. Hit and Run was a good game. Also a product of its time, but also a good game. So you need to draw the other Animus and Channel Song? Yep. I have 6 draws, 15 cards left in the deck. It's too optimistic, right? Too optimistic. Although there are more draw cards in the deck as well. It's very optimistic. Friendly unit is healed, so it does have to be down first. I'm okay with dealing with like 2 self-mutilations every turn, possibly even 3. Eventually, yeah, actually. How good would Frozen Eye be here? Ridiculous. I think eventually I am actually okay with this. Still can't do the second floor if we're planning on putting everything on the same floor. That's the problem, right? If I'm setting up these two on the same floor and not setting up the extra Animus of Wills, I'd just set them up on the bottom. Both Animuses of Will definitely have to be on the same floor. There's no negotiation in that. Don't have the ability to descend. Single copy of Descending Retreat would be really good. Faulty Loader would have been helpful here. That's... not necessarily. Yes? I mean, would the Animus of Will live if I put it down here on the bottom line and whiffed hard on everything this turn? Possibly. Possibly. Stranger things have happened. Check your Netflix catalog. Let's do it. Screw it. I'm risking it for the biscuit. Got it. Hey, Echo Right's already in this hand. Beautiful. Whew. Found a way out of that one. All right. Let's start stealing, Hanson. What's all this about caramel dancing? I'm only caring about stealing, Hanson. You go up there. All right, I'll see myself out for that one. Guess heal there, sure. Then we're looking to get as many out, I guess, as we can, so we can throw out this giant shelter. 36 armor across the board. I guess I just burn Channel Song as well for the etching. Oh yes, they move all health. Regain all health when they move up a floor, rather. Interesting. If only I had some way to catch them, even if they got past me. An utter shame that we have nothing of the sort. Oh well. One day we should be so lucky. Oh, it's gone! I really want to be able to bring back the Forgotten Trade. That'd be so good. These ones need to go on damage, definitely. There we go. We're starting to actually kill those units. Speaking of those units... Whoa! Waves 3 remaining. Whoa! That one's looking bad. God, that'd take more stings than I even have. I don't know if I can kill this one. So 40 damage. It'll be dealing 10 a pop. So in 40s against a 290, it will take 5, 6, 7, 8. We're losing 80 HP to it. Each sting saves you almost a whole hit. Not because of this, though. Heaven's Seal, they restore all health when they move up a floor. Can burn or restore, I think, though. Godspeed, good soldiers. You tried telling them it's rude to trespass. You're right, I haven't tried that. It's what I should do. You're right, 100% right. Whoop, get that back. Burn that out. Nothing with a cost in this deck, please. So you can see the limits of our scaling in this fight. I think this is a really good fight for demonstrating the absolute least that. Sure, another restore there. Alright, at least we're good against the boss. At least we're good against the boss. I shall console myself with that. If we only had the option of taking some sort of relic that would heal you when consuming a card, oh well. I did say at the time, when we take damage to enemies, we're going to take chunks of 80 or nothing. Or 80 lethal or nothing, rather. So, well, nothing, right? When we take damage, nothing is not taking damage. So, 80 or nothing. And hey, that's what just happened. Thankfully, we don't have to deal with Scourges in the TLD fight. No. None of those. None of those either. Okay. Forgotten boons and merchant trinkets. When a card with Consumer's played, deal 30 damage to the front enemy unit. First time a card with Consumer's played, add 2 copies to the hand. Baby. That's something. I'm probably going to be taking both of those. Have a look at the Divine Tumbler. Don't necessarily need to do any operations in there. It doesn't look like. Hold over, though. Hold up. Hold over. Return Soul. Continue just burning cards out of the deck at any rate that I want. What is the out you're looking for in terms of scaling? It's consume removal. And it's consume removal on Forgotten Trade. Right? Because then we consume remove Forgotten Trade. We dupe Awoken Railspike. We start trying to cycle 2 times per turn. Hold over Steel Enhancer for consistent early growth. It's too low in terms of its ongoing impact. Burn Channel Song first, get 2 more Channel Songs. I'm unlikely to burn Channel Song first. Oftentimes it's going to be Deep Offering, which I'll happily take 2 more Deep Offerings in the deck. Possibly Forgotten Trade. I'm not going to want to do it with Preserved Thorns. I might do it with Pyrogrow, but I'll feel bad about it. I might do it with the Shelter, but I'll also probably feel bad about that. I'm not seeing this DLC yet. What's the new clan's gimmick? The charged echoes. It is a resource that you have to utilize in different fashions. I'm sorry. I've explained the new clan a bunch of times over the past few days. Can anyone else explain in chat, please? Too shy. 96. Sorry, 96. 65. My apologies. I don't mean to shrug off your question. It's just I've on my side. It's been one that I've repeated so often as to have just having echoing in my brain. I don't know if Return Soul needs holdover. We get back to it really quickly. We consume our entire deck really quickly. I don't know. I don't know about that. It might just be reroll. Double stack. That doesn't go on anything, does it? Nope. Cool. The healing through sweep will be healing through it with the rest of the cards that we have. That's fine. Yep. I'd love to be able to reroll and then also purchase something here, but I don't believe I will be able to. Maybe if I didn't reroll in Yellowstone first. There's some things I'd be able to buy on a reroll. I want to cry. I would like to cry, please. That would have been perfect. That would have inspired with every consume card. That's actually kind of the scaling we needed as well. Feels bad. Is Fate of Hell really not worth losing 15 gold merchant? Fate of Hell, Fate of Hell. I'm not certain what you mean by Fate of Hell. It's Fate of Hell, Fate of Hell, Fate of Hell, Fate of Hell. Not certain what you mean. Modiflex, thank you very much for the Prime subscription. Jerome in chat. Welcome back to the Republic. Soul Siphon. I can't play that first. Well, I can play Soul Siphon first in this fight. Right? It's just other fights I can't do it. Nah, why'd you preserve? I don't want that one preserved. I want that one dead. I think I prefer drawing more cards next turn rather than the Pyro being larger. Nice. Channel Song brings back Echo Right. Animus of Will goes in the even back line. Consume. Bring back and immediately consume the Channel Song, just getting rid of it if we can. No! Stop preserving it! I need to consume! I must eat. Allow me to eat. Yes, yes. Let the hate flow through you. Low grumbles. All right. The Awoken Railspike goes off. We steal enhance, throw a sting. Awoken Railspike is in the new draw pile, isn't it? It is. Alright, we Awoken Railspike again. Go for the heal. Yeah, Pyro. Then a Forgotten Trade for a bunch of energy. Heck, I'll even Preserve Thorns. And then Deep Offering my way all the way to, there we go, the new Forgotten Railspike. I just knew it was going to be there, and I even knew how deep it was going to be in the deck, evidently. But Railspike gets us a bunch more cards again. Beauty. Now, is our whole deck 0 cost? Everything except for Shelter. Yeah, everything except for Shelter is 0 cost. So if we consume this on the top floor, we get plus 10. Although we lock ourselves entirely out of energy next turn. There we go. Literally all that means is I can't play Shelter this turn. And I draw fewer cards with the Awoken Railspike, but... Only really considering the ones that are actual problems for me. Return Soul to return. Do I want a second chance at trying to get that? Yeah, let's try and get that Echo Snare out. Preserved again. Honestly, the wing clippings are doing huge work. They are to be commended. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. And then those, and then that, and... Well, I guess I don't need to Forgotten Trade before I use Shelter. And I also shouldn't. How did we get a Forgotten Trade back in the deck? I thought that did die. It's 1:43 a.m., so I made you about. Have a great stream, lads, lasses, and thems with fat asses. I really like that. One of my defaults for a while has been after hearing Dan Olsen of Foldable Ideas rather say it has been Foldable Human is his Twitter tag. That's the one I was going to say. Ladies, gents, and non-binary friends. Right? It's kind of like the T and D kind of like, you know, rhyme-ish, rhyme adjacent. But I like that one too. That's really good. Okay. Hit him with a business. Perfection. Can I get back that Shelter? I do. Because we're going to do some nutty stuff with it this turn. Because now we Awoken Railspike, right? And that's in the new draw pile. And we cast all of these. Okay. Then we've Forgotten Trade. Then we Awoken Railspike again. Okay. Okay. Oh my god, the Forgotten Trade lived again. Absolute champ right there. Alright, and then I'm applying 92 armor to all of my units on that floor. Thank you, Diminutive Jerry, for providing the giant info dump there for Shy. First one. Anyone here got advice in deck building? I feel like there's mentality to it. Find your playstyle and then find ways to make that playstyle successful. And then if that playstyle cannot be successful, oops, try again. So, when I mentioned, like, I want to say on Ring 3, what's our scaling plan? Ring 4, what's our scaling plan? It was literally something like this, right? Just play a bunch of cards every single turn. And that's what we're doing. I'll be damned if we're not playing a bunch of cards every single turn. Doesn't matter how much Ember you have when everything's 0 cost. Get him. Alright, Return Soul, what do you got for us? Another Sting we can burn out here? Love it. All right, we're like long past this fight. This fight has been over for a very long time. The only person who does not know that is the Seraph. I will say, this deck with Gifts for a Guard burns out too many of these cards. And once it burns out too many of these cards, suddenly we're doing nothing on a lot of these turns. Yeah, it's a lot of consume triggers, but I will just need some cards that aren't going to have consume triggers on them. That's one of the big reasons Preserve Thorns ended up wanting to go into this deck, is just so that I had more cards to burn through, as well as more cards I was happy to consume. Nice. Alright, let's let that one resolve. The Wormkin class really made consume type cards good. Very good. Very good. It's you know, heavily synergized around that clan. Around that mechanic. You cannot stop this form. Broadly agree. Excavated Embers have got to be so good with Wormkin. Yes. Yes. Oh, the Umbra synergies are really good for that reason, as well as the Ember Drain reasons. As well as just a lot of essences, but I guess that's, you know, not necessarily a TLD mechanic. All right, you know what? Let's how about we random for the next round? I mean, yeah, that's fine, I guess. No one heard the squeal, right? It's all okay. It's all okay, Raps. God, we're gonna need a bunch of buffs here. It's fine. We can get them. I forgot that was a thing. I wouldn't have done that. Forgot that I was going to be duping that. Sorry. It's entirely possible that putting these down... Whoop, excuse me. That's also the wrong floor. It's entirely possible that putting these down on the top line is going to kill me. But if we get to the end of this turn and we've done all of the draw with the Awoken Railspike and that's... we're just still dead, then... Fine. Fine. Because setting up on the bottom line is not sustainable. We need jack strips to start removing the damage shield. So we're dead if we do it there. We're dead if we do it in the midline because we don't get enough scaling. So it's literally just, can we succeed on doing it on the top line? I like it when it gets simplified like that for us. Didn't want to preserve that one. Stop preserving them. Fine, I'll use one. Hey, I'm not okay. I'm happy you preserved that one at the absolute last. Yeah, Pyagro can get thrown here too. Didn't want that one preserved either. Channel Song, get rid of that too, thank you. Stop. No, I wanted to preserve that one. Why do you only preserve the things I don't want you to... It's fine. We're all good. Cool. So we're looking to make more things 0 cost as quickly as we can. I don't have a heal in there. Okay, so we'll use an individual restore there. It's Forgotten Trade. It's really good. It's just I don't have... Maybe I just go for a big armor turn with Shelter. Which I could do now. I think I do. I'm just going to go for the 44 armor with the Shelter. Save ourselves from any necessarily tragic things here. Pendon asks, Rhapsody, if you were to make a D&D character based on an SCS or MT character, what would you make? Note, this is repost because you may have missed it earlier. Sorry for repeating discouraged. Repeating's not discouraged. I usually just don't address a question if I either don't see it, which is a possibility, or don't necessarily have time to do it at the time. I might answer that after the run, though, if you're okay with that, Pendon. Feel free to re-ask at the time, in case I forget then. HTTP Plus, thank you for the Prime subscription. Join Munson channel, welcome to the Republic. Again. Stop preserving Soul Siphon! Stop it! This is not the way! That's fine. Yeah, it draws 5. I was going to draw 5 whether I got the energy before it or not. Stop preserving! Why do you only preserve the bad cards? I don't understand. I mean, I do understand. It's a cognitive bias on my side. I'm only recognizing the good ones. I'm not necessarily recognizing the bad ones. It's a selective bias, but still! There we go. Finally. Got it out of the deck. Retined gets back the Sting there. Then we draw a Forgotten Trade. A big ol' Awoken Spike again. You simply love to see it. Hey, that didn't get held over that time. Beautiful. B-E-A, beautiful. Why? Because it got him. Yes, yes. At least we're still getting our damage projected through the back line. That makes me feel like we're doing okay. I think I got my pick here. I'm gonna burn Stings first, ideally. This can still get spookier. Right? We don't have a Forgotten Trade, so look at what's happening on the board right now. Yes, we're about to address some of this, but it's getting harder and harder to address as we keep denying ourselves more tools. Oh, man. Love that chain right there. Bunch of extra effect out of nowhere. Beautiful. Alright, Awoken Railspike, impress me. Consider me whelmed. Not overwhelmed, not underwhelmed. Just whelmed. Thoroughly whelmed. How do you think Inspire works? What do you think the spell tells the Animus that it's doing so well and the Animus works harder? I think it's just they're being rewarded with candy for their good work. Doesn't have to be so so non-simple. Gosh, I guess we have to heal Echo right at some point in the future as well. It's a non-trivial amount of damage Echo right does there, so definitely still worth doing. Man, I love that chain. Okay, Robin? Is that a How I Met Your Mother? I never watched that show. That's not a like, oh, I didn't watch media kind of thing. Like, it's like I didn't catch it. Was not a thing I was watching at the time. It's fine. Return Soul will bring back whatever it wants at any time. Thank heck that Vengeful Shard is now hit with a 0 cost as well, though. Are we just... Why is Echo Right definitely dying here? Excuse me? Oh! You have multi-strike. Oh. I think we lose. I legitimately think, like, this kills the crab. And in this metaphor, we are the crab. Excuse me? They do start summoning Absolvers. All right, video game. Yeah, we just can't get damaged back to the back line anymore. This is not the end? Are you sure? Damn well looks like it. 19? Oh, multi-strike. Ah, okay. All right, so it didn't just gain multi-strike, it just had a unit on the line. Boss dead? Boss dead? How? How boss dead, though? Why boss dead? Boss? Boss, why dead, boss? Relentless? But... I thought its Relentless would still kill my units first. I mean, I guess I'm glad it's not gonna, right? Because I'm not complaining. But I am apparently complaining. Tell my voice that I'm not complaining. Alright, let's pop that down to normal. Okay, the boss does that, and then we whap him back. Yeah, I guess we only get, yeah, the enemy only gets one more attack line. I thought the enemy just had, like had reached a point in the fight where they were like, you know what? I'm multi-striking now. That's what I'm doing for the rest of the fight. But no, they had not. GG. Good run. A good run right there. We still haven't played with Stygian in the in Divinity, but we got one. Got one there. All right. We're gonna go into another run like very, very quickly. Do not mind. Just before that, though, there was a question I just put off. Right, about a D&D character based on MT or STS. What was it? How do you trigger the TLD fight? Have more than 100 pack shards when you end the fight against the Seraph. Who would you make? Okay, so inspired by a character in STS or MT. Well, I mean, the obvious answer is Dante, right? I tend to play a lot of characters that... I play characters that do voices a lot, right? Sue me. So a lot of my characters tend to be performance bards. They tend to be maybe in the school of illusion magic, maybe doing major images and disguise self kinds of things. Maybe they're a rogue and they just have a disguise kit, right? Or maybe they try and mentally dominate someone into thinking that they are someone other than they are. Dante fits with the kind of planar traveler. So I've said before that I think Dante, like in this world, I don't really read the lore of this game at all. I know it's really good and a lot of people really, really like it, but it just bounces straight off. That's not like a good animation with bouncing off. Pew, pew. Like it just bounces straight off of me. So I don't know if any of this is necessarily canon, but in my mind, Dante is an interplanar traveler. And the kind of like interplanar traveler with like mage abilities as well as like a bit of flamboyant swagger. That is like most of the characters I've ever played in D&D. That is a simplification of a large amount of the characters that I've played in D&D. So I'm leaning a little bit in that direction. However, the other direction that that my characters lean in D&D is all of my characters except for the last one that I created for a Curse of Strahd campaign. So Jack Harkness. Yeah, pretty much Jack Harkness. Honestly, like that's... First time I saw Jack Harkness on screen, it meant a lot to me. And I didn't necessarily understand why at the time. And now I understand why. But just to jump back for a sec, the character that I made for Curse of Strahd is the prompt was making them based on fairy tale characters, and so I made the Mad Hatter, right? So it's my first male character in a very long period of time. All of my characters before that, ever since ever since Leoloth, so 7 years ago now, have all been non-binary, every single one of them. So, are there any NB characters? Well, Defect. Defect is not referred to by any primary gender. Defect has kind of been, at the very least on their release, I saw them being kind of claimed with open arms by the non-binary community. So, Defect also has like a little bit of an ability to involve themselves there. The Defect's kind of like similarity, at least on the surface, to Invoker also feels nice. The idea of a robot that is generating magic through the kind of electrical effects that it is going to be doing, that's also really good. So to be Defect in STS, and it would be Dante for Monster Train, I think.